Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You can see my screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Are you able to see it?
No, sir.
I shared it now. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we are talking about clustering procedures or methods. Especially in that, I was focusing about agglomerative techniques, right? So clustering or class discovery using bottom-up procedures. So when you are discussing clustering, the important thing here is you remember two type of distances here, right? One is capital D, say for example, single linkage distance is defined such as between two cluster Ci, Cj is nothing but a minimum sample distance. Say when the sample residing in one cluster and the other sample residing in other cluster. That is what you are indicating, saying that here Ci belongs to, A belongs to, a point A belongs to Ci or B belongs to Cj. So minimum value among the sample distances will be assigned to capital D, that we consider it as cluster distance. Small d is a sample distance. So this procedure we call it a single linkage procedure, single linkage algorithm. With a minor change here, instead of minimum, if you make it a maximum, then that is referred as complete linkage algorithm in that case, right? So you define cluster distance in that case, complete linkage distance between two clusters Ci, Cj is the maximum sample distance. Where A belongs to Ci, B belongs to say Cj, right? To average out, you have even one more distance defined here, average linkage distance between two clusters. It is nothing but going to have number of samples in each cluster, Ni, Nj, and you will be summing all the sample distances, right? So this is what you generally see here, right? But anyway, selection, someone are asking, yes, it is sometime whether you want to keep your cluster away. In the case, you can go for complete linkage, right? If you want to have in the space two clusters to be spaced adjacent, very as much as possible to very closer, like the shape also changes here even, but however, the general idea is to go with the farthest neighborhood method is to keep clusters away far as much as possible away from each other. Okay, that is nothing but a complete linkage. On the other side, average will be kind of average measure you'll be trying to take between the cases, right? So it is no much difference, but yes, minor differences you may find between the clusters here. Okay, going to a simple example here. One more example is given. Can you understand? Can you go through, one of you? Please go through the question given here. What you understand from the question, you tell me. One problem is given here. Can anyone can unmute and read this? Aishwarya,
Yes, sir.
are you able to see the slide? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you just go through the question problem? Yeah.
A cluster containing samples 0, 1, 0.2 and 0, 3.
Oh, that is 0,2. Okay. By mistake,
Okay.
type error. Yeah.
Okay. Another cluster contains samples at 1, 7, 1, 8 and 1, 9. What is the single linkage distance between clusters if Euclidean distance is used? If city block distance is used, and what is the average linkage distance between clusters if Euclidean distance is used?
Okay. So anyone understood the problem? What is the kind of problem given? They can unmute and they can answer something. How you need to attend this? How you need to start with? Given problem, how will start? Yeah.
So first we can find the Euclidean distance.
So what is given here in the problem? Directly features are given, but they are given as points. Like you can see that these are the features, right? Say X and Y are the two features of a given sample or pattern, right? So this is pattern 1, pattern 2, etc. Right? So what you can understand is some of the samples are given here and related features are given, correct? This is very clear. And even clusters are also given. Have you observed that? Two clusters are represented here. A cluster containing this. That means you are already given two clusters, correct? Having some features X and Y, say maybe 0, 1, 0, 1 is somewhere here, 0 if it is here, 0, 2 is here, 0, 3 is here, for example. You can mark it. I'm just marking directly. Maybe if it is 1, maybe 1, 7. Okay, it goes very high. I'll just redraw it. Maybe first point, second point, third point if it is here as a cluster. And rest point may be somewhere if it is starting from 1, 7. Suppose 7 is here. 7, 8, 9. 1, 7, 1, 1, 8, 1, 9, right? This is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. 3 points here. So already you are given two clusters. Now, this is a problem in which already the clusters are provided. So you have to apply your algorithm and you have to just find single linkage cluster distance between the given clusters, where you can adopt Euclidean distance as a similarity measure, right? Part A, you need to calculate DAL between the given cluster C1 and C2. Suppose this is C1, this is C2. The question is direct here. You no need to iteratively proceed with the algorithm. You need to just find cluster distance. Is it clear? Yeah, you may have to calculate in that case sample distance also, because DAL is nothing but, sorry, single linkage distance, right? They asked first. Single linkage distance, yeah, SL. Single linkage is SL, we indicate. D, CL indicate complete linkage. D, AL indicate average linkage. Can one of you can, this you understand, already you defined that this as a minimum of small d between A and B, 2 point if there are, right? Where A belongs to Ci, B belongs to Cj. So can you define now what are the distances, possible distances here, and can you find out this DSL? Varun? How many number of distances are possible here from each cluster to another cluster? Small d. Suppose this, yeah,
3.
0, 2, suppose 0, 1 to 1, 7 is the first distance. This is 0, 1 to 1, 7, maybe D1, right? Like 0, 2 to 1, 7. See, each 0, 1 point to all other three, there will be three distances, like, right? From 0 to once again 3, 0, 3 to once again other cluster, there are 3 more. So you can find totally, yeah, can you share, right? 9, right? 9 distances, yeah. So D1 to D9 you can find out possible distances. And among them, the minimum distance is referred as single linkage distance. How you will find out Euclidean distance? It is already known. So first part I will leave it to you. You use this formula to find under the square root summation of, right, bi minus ai whole square. That is under the square root you have to find out summation of all the you know that suppose the given points are this and this, how to find out 1 minus 0 whole square plus 7 minus 1 whole square under the square root. I'll just say that between 2 points, when you consider these two, if you have forgotten, just remember that it is Euclidean distance calculation is by taking 1 minus 0 whole square plus 7 minus 1 whole square here between these 2 points, right? So how much it is for one example here? That is 1 plus 6 square, right? 37 under the square root. So similarly, you can calculate other values and you can check which is the minimum one. The minimum one you can assign it to the left hand side, or that can be considered as a cluster distance. This is the cluster distance. So anyone having any doubt here how to find cluster distance here? If you ask specific doubt, I can address that for the first part. Otherwise, this you need to calculate. Okay. I just gave hint. Okay, the second one, we will work with the second one. What is single linkage distance? They're asking once again DSL between two clusters. If city block distance is used. So I have just told earlier what is city block distance is. It is something like this, but we have not used in any problem. It is a simple measure between 2 points. When there are 2 points, between the 2 points, okay, AB is taken here. Say capital A, I'll just bold A, I just write as a capital A just to make a difference because it's difficult to write bold letter here. They wrote ABS bold letter, I just take it as capital instead of that. The 2 point, if you take like this, distance, city block distance or absolute difference between 2 points are nothing but summation of I is equal to 1 to n of absolute differences, Bi minus Ai. You need to just take Bi minus Ai. Summation of I is equal to 1 to n. Bi minus Ai. Absolute difference. Right? So these absolute differences, if you add, you will get a city block distance or a measure. It's a very simple measure comparatively. There is no square root and all, right? This also can be used if nothing is specified regarding the small d calculation. If we don't say Euclidean, even you can go for city block, which is very convenient to estimate, right? It's left to you to choose if nothing is specified in the problem, okay? But what is the single linkage distance if city block distance is used? I think now you are able to calculate. There are 9 small d's, d1, d2, etc. you find here. That d1 or d2, what we mentioned earlier, you can calculate now using this formula, city block distance. So let us calculate one such a distance, city block distance, just to get an idea between 2 points. If I take this as 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you want alphabet means even you can take that. Okay. Suppose this is point A, B, C, D, E, F. So A to D now. DCB or city block distance between A to D. How much it is? A to D means you are calculating from this point to this point. That is city block distance as A to D you are calculating. How much it is? It is nothing but an absolute difference between 1 minus 0, x2 minus, suppose these are the elements of that. Maybe if it is x and y, each point is represented by x comma y. Maybe this is x1, this is y1. This may be, for example, D point, maybe x4, y4. In that case, you need to take y4, x4 minus x1, right? Absolute difference between those two. So you're getting this point, right? So 1 minus 0, absolute difference, you add it with 7 minus 1. How much it is? 7, right? Similarly, you have to calculate all 9 distances. Can you calculate similarly all 9 distances? A to C, A to D I have calculated, A to E, A to F you calculate first. Then B to D, B to E, B to F, so on. I have already told why you need to calculate between A to B or B to C. I think it is very clear to everyone, no? They are inter-cluster distances. You no need to calculate. They are intra-cluster distances within the cluster, right? A to B is nothing but intra-cluster, so no need to calculate that. Only calculate inter-cluster distances. Sample distances when one of the point residing in one cluster, the other point residing in other cluster, you can calculate. Those are the points considered for left hand side of your linkage distance. So can you tell me other values? DCB between A to E, how much? DCB between A to F?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. Okay, similarly, DCB between B, D, B, E, B, F,
8, 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10. Okay, the last one. I'll write here. DCB between C, comma, D, DCB.
9, 10, 11.
Okay, it is 9, 10, 11 you are telling. Sorry, E.
Yes, sir.
Nine, 10, 11. So here, how much of this one? How much DCB A to E? It cannot be 8. Oh, you got 8. Okay.
8, sir. 1
8,
minus 0,
correct.
so 8 minus 1.
Okay, okay. Then here, B, when you take B or C to D, how much you said? This
3
point
plus 3 plus 6. 9.
no, 1, it is 0 minus 1 minus 0. Absolute difference is 1. 7 minus 3 is 4. It should be 5 here, the last one. So this calculation is wrong, no? This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. Right? Just check. When you take from C to this D, it is 1 minus 0, 7 minus 3, 4 plus 1, 5. When you take CE, it is 1 plus 5, it is 6. And C to F, it is nothing but 1 plus 6, so it is 7. Whether I have to verify the other one also? So maybe B to D is nothing but 1 plus 5, 6. B to D is 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. 6, 7,
6.
8.
Oh, yeah, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, it is fine, but you should not make calculations are simple here, but don't make mistakes. Okay, if you make mistake, generally you know calculation no should be serious. So it is 8. Now the minimum value is nothing but 5 here. That will be considered as your DSL. Among the 9 distances which you calculated, which is the minimum? Minimum value is nothing but 9. Sorry, 5, right? Here, C to D. Among the 9 distances you calculated, C to D is the minimum distance that you assign to single linkage distance as that you consider it as the cluster distance as per the rule.
Sir, isn't it CE 4?
CE is nothing but 1 minus 0 plus 8 minus 3, right?
Yes, sir.
DCE you are talking, right?
6.
Yes, sir.
It is nothing but absolute difference between 1 minus 0 plus 8 minus 3. So nothing but 1 plus
6,
5, right?
5.
6,
Oh, sorry,
correct?
6, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So calculation is simple here. Only thing, the formula you have to carefully use it. That's all. Because it is easy actually. Absolute difference comparatively. No need of square root and all. You don't even have a calculator here, right? So the second answer for B is 5. Okay. Similarly, you can do the third part also. third part also very similar. Average linkage distance. Instead of DSL, DAL is asked. I think that you can calculate. So can you calculate using city block distance? What is DAL here? Actually, C is using Euclidean distance. Consider that there is another option D. Okay. What is DAL using city block distance? If I ask, can you calculate that? So what is number of the total 9 Ds you have to calculate first? All Ds D1 to D9 you have to calculate using city block. You may be already calculated. So you have all the values 5, 6, 7 and 6, 7, 8, all these, no? You add it. And later Ni and Nj here, that you need to understand. That is why I just asked this question. What is Ni here in this problem? Suppose if Ci is C1, number of sample in cluster 1 are 3. So it is nothing but in both the cases equal number of sample you have 3 and each. And the total distance what you get here, right? Calculate it how much. Okay, I think you're able to do that. Any questions here? Sometime the cluster may be given, sometime you may be asked from the sample directly. Sometimes even a cluster may be given and the cluster may be required to be divided into. Okay. So depending on the question, you can just attend. Any questions here on this problem? Okay, if there is no question, we'll go with another method, which also one of the bottom-up procedure said to be Watt's method, but slightly different approach. Here, the similarity index is not directly a distance, but the procedure of grouping looks like you are going with bottom-up approach, as well as it has similar 3-step. You need to begin with the n clusters. And you can repeat, say, step 3, n minus 1 times. But find most similar to clusters, Ci, Cj, and merge them. But that merging concept is not based on that similarity index, no, here is squared error. It is not the cluster distance. Instead of cluster distance, they have taken error as information to merge. Squared error, square of the error is taken as a measure here. Okay, that is defined by some research team and they referred their algorithm with the method. So let us try to understand the method. So it is also called a minimum variance method. You will understand why they call like that. So once we discuss further steps, let us consider that there are m samples. If the samples are such as represented with the vector x1, x2, etc., say m vectors. So one of the feature vector you can refer as xi, right? So this xi is nothing but having multiple features, x1, x2, etc. This is a situation. So you have a feature vector here. One of the feature vector may be ith vector, or one of the sample represented with feature vector. By extracting its feature, it is represented as a vector here. So there are m samples. Okay, altogether m samples are there. So in this case, What is squared error for each cluster? How squared error is defined, right? That is what you need to understand. So when there is a vector consisting of feature 1 to d, and if the vector is of ith vector, then you can represent each vector sample like this with the two variables. You're getting my point? I said already there are m samples. So samples can be totally maybe 5 or 10. That is referred as m here. One of them can be referred as ith sample. Even this sample will have d variables. So xi sample variables you can indicate with xi1, xi2 having two suffixes xid. So for ith vector, you are saying that for ith vector, one of the first feature is this I1. Okay, ith vector second feature is this. So on. Last feature is this. Suppose this is the first sample you are referring, it will be all are 1, 1, 1, 2, etc. Got it? So there are m samples. In that case, how you are going to find squared Euclidean distance from the mean? That is explained like this. If you are defining a squared error for sample xi, which is the squared Euclidean distance from mean, they have defined it as a, suppose there is a cluster here and there is a sample here. They talk now one more concept called cluster center. It is nothing but a mean, or they call it a centroid, or mean value of sample. So when you are having multiple samples, and if there is a group of sample you consider as a cluster, and for the cluster if there is a center point or centroid or a mean value, with respect to mean how each feature is right away from, based on that error could be defined here. Say when you are talking this is a cluster and this is center of the cluster, when a sample is away from that, that shows dissimilarity. That is what they quantify that as an error from the mean. Okay, with respect to mean they estimate that. That is why squared error is estimated with respect to mean of the cluster here. So that is what you can see explained. Squared error are expressed here when j is varying from 1 to d. That is when each feature within the, say suppose there is a point here. There is a point here which is now d-dimensional in space. Not two. Don't think that it is a 2D space like this. Don't imagine like this. Each point is now d-dimensional space. Each point is having features such as xi1, xi2, etc. xid. It means that there are d variables. It is not xy. It is d variable or d-dimensional space where one point is considered for representing a pattern. Okay, a sample is considered to be available in d-dimensional space. That is why you find here xi1, xi2, etc., xid. That is with which you express or represent your particular point here. Now try to understand this relation. We do the summation of all the errors, or we can say that squared errors, because xij minus yj, mu j whole square you are calculating. So it is a, from the mean how much it is away and you are taking square of that, right? And you do summation of all the sample within the cluster for which you find those samples are away from a mean point. What is that mu j? Mu j is also another. It's a mean. Mu j is nothing but mean. Mu j is the mean value of feature j. If there is a feature, please understand that there is a feature x, it will have mean as mu x. Okay, or in this case we denoted that there are d number of features. J is equal to 1 to d. We have indicated here. All the variable will be, say, for each vector you will have d number of variable, xi1, xi2, so on, right? That is what I said as a column vector when you consider. Now try to understand that each variable mean with respect to that how much it is away. That is what quantified as here mu j. Mu j is the mean value of each variable. Mu j is the mean value of each variable, and how much away from that you quantify as squared error. Is there any confusion here? Mu j is the mean value of feature j. Any one of the random feature you are taking, maybe it is xi4 maybe. Okay, in that case, for that feature, mean values may be taken as. So you will have summation of j is equal to 1 to d. If you calculate xij minus mu j whole square, it is nothing but squared error value. Okay, in this space. So with respect to each feature we are talking about here. So what is that mu j? How you can calculate? Theoretically, you find that it is nothing but x summation of xij when I varies from 1 to m. If there are m samples in a cluster, right? I said that if there are m samples in the cluster, for each sample, with respect to each feature, what you do is try to xij for each j, right? You try to find out mu j value. It is nothing but 1 over m, number of samples. M is nothing but number of sample. I is equal to 1 to m xij, summation of all this divided by m, right? So that you nothing but with respect to each feature you are trying to find the mean of feature j, right? So once you get the mean of feature j, that using that you'll be trying to estimate squared error. Squared error is nothing but how much each point is away from some mean value. That is what you are estimating here. Error. Okay, how much away from the center, that is quantified by squared error here in a way, right? So, but when there are multiple clusters in this sample space, when you are having multiple clusters here, so what is the squared error contributed by each cluster you have to calculate. That is why, anyway, once you calculate squared error for a sample, okay, what is the total squared error you have to find out later. First of all, squared error E can be expressed as sum of, this is already defined, squared error for each sample with respect to xi. But within the cluster you have m sample. Squared error is estimated for 1 point which is given here. But for all m point you add this. So this is squared error for one cluster. Okay. But if there are multiple clusters, you have to consider all E, and that can be considered as total error. The total error is a measure for saying or error could be a important, squared error is an important measure here to understand whether two clusters are similar or not. Okay, how we will discuss later. with an example. But before that, you try to understand the concept here, what is happening. There is an error, sum of error you are going to calculate here for each sample existing in a cluster. That if you express even this is seen that it is equal to m sigma square. What is sigma square? Anyone?
Variance.
Yeah, sigma is standard deviation, right? Sigma square is variance. So it is also seen E is nothing but m sigma square. Okay, so nothing but you can call it as total variance method. Okay. Even you find here mu j, right? Mu j nothing but when j varies from 1 to d. So you can see that there will multiple mu's, mu1, mu2, etc. mu d. So all this together you can call it as a vector, mu as a vector. Okay, maybe mu1, mu2, etc. For each feature will have a mean, right? Mu j. Mean value of feature j. Mu j. When j varies from 1 to d, similarly you can understand that there are d number of means for each individual features. That's nothing but mean vector. So mean vector is going to represent your centroid. Mu, what I said, having variables mu1, mu2, etc. is going to represent your centroid. If there is a cluster, that will be the actual centroid. It's nothing but center point. We believe that it is something around the center of the cluster. Okay. So let us see how we can apply this. Even sigma square is nothing but summation of, if you see here, sigma square is nothing but, variance is nothing but summation of, it is also understood that it is summation of sigma 1 to sigma d square. So that is why even this method where E is expressed as m sigma square also referred as total variance method. Okay. Let us see now how we can make use this. The same problem I'm taking. What is the problem? Can you recall? Earlier we took 5 sample problem. That only I'm taking. Okay. 5 sample problem where 5 samples are given. Only algorithm is different here. So I think this table is very clear to you. Any one of you have doubt here? What are the samples given? 5 samples are given, each sample having feature x and y. The feature values are tabulated here. For first sample it is 4, 4, second sample 8, 4, third sample 15, 8, so on. Totally there are 5 samples. This is a given problem having 5 set of samples and their features. And now you are supposed to use Watt's algorithm or method for hierarchical clustering. Say you group it using Watt's method. I just put a snapshot of the text here, but anyway, I will explain it how to go with the clustering. So when you realize or visualize this in the, when you visualize this in the sample space, now it is a 2-feature one. Even D represents it's possible to have more features like X, Y, one more feature Z also possible to have in the problem. Or if you want 5 feature, you can also have a 5-feature problem, right? You can do for multiple features here, but we are just simplifying our problems with only 2 feature based. Later we'll take one more example with multiple, maybe 3 feature also. Okay. So now is the question is clear question, and the samples are represented now on the feature space as we have already shown how to draw. Anyone of you have any doubt here how it is drawn? If you, anyone of you have not attended during that time, and if you have any doubt, you can question it on this. Why you find all these points plotted like this? Anyone has any queries? You can ask. You took feature X here. feature y here, and just plotted this scatter plot. Each sample is shown here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 samples are drawn on the plot. Now we are going with the bottom-up procedure or a hierarchical clustering approach, where the first step is always you start with the n clusters, each consisting one sample, right? The same procedure with which you are starting here also, and you'll be later in the end, after considering this, in order to merge now two cluster, how you can merge, that is what you are going to decide here. You can merge 1 or 2 or 1 or 2, 3, 1 or 3 or 1 or 5. See, there are a lot of combination you find here, how you can go with the 4 cluster. Now in the first iteration, you start with 5 clusters, right? Each individual sample as a cluster. Now the possible combination of having a 4 cluster are, how you can merge 2 cluster and have 4 cluster. This is one combination, or this can be another combination. Like that, you have multiple combination, right? These are the possible combination of merging 2 cluster and having 4 clusters. So totally how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 combinations, right? These are the possible ways of combining 2 clusters so that you can have 4 clusters. Why we are showing this all possible ways? Because we need to find out minimum squared error when you are combining 2 clusters. So based on minimum squared error, you can combine. See, when you start with the agglomerative procedure, the procedure says that first step, you start with 5 clusters. Then you find out 2 most similar clusters using squared error. But in order to find 2 most similar clusters, what is the policy? The squared error should be least. Then you can say that those 2 clusters are very similar. Now we are trying to find out which are the 2 clusters are having least squared error, right? For that, all the combinations you have to check. Even though visually you can see some clusters are very far, squared error will be maybe for them when you are merging will be higher. That you understand, but looking into the space, you can even decide some of them you can exclude. But theoretically speaking, when we have all the possibilities, I have to write as per the procedure all these possible combinations, right? And I have to explain how you estimate now squared error here, and how you going to choose a best option for merging 2 cluster in the end of the first iteration and going for the next. So that you will be starting next iteration with 4 clusters. So I said that these agglomerative methods are iterative approaches. In each iteration, you will be merging 2 clusters. Now in the first iteration, we need to decide which squared error is least. Okay, that is why you are just finding all possible cluster combination here listed, and nearby we estimated the squared error. Now let us see the first one and check how it is calculated. So possible approaches one by one, later you can easily understand once you understand the first one. So what is that method to calculate error? E is nothing but, you remember, just note it somewhere. What is E? I is equal to 1 to M, J is equal to 1 to D, Xij minus mu j whole square. Have you noted? Anyone have not yet to note, or if you need extra time for noting, you tell me.
Sir, noted.
Okay, noted. Yes, thank you. So now let us see here what is the we are calculating now cluster distance, clusters such a way that to get 4 cluster by merging 1 and 2. That means these 2 cluster we are merging. So initially we had 5 clusters, we are merging these 2. What is the error when you are merging this? First you calculate that. So when you are merging this, what is the total squared error possible that you have to calculate? What is called error due to this? All this total you have to estimate, and that should be minimum. Okay. Total should be minimum. But for that, first we will calculate for this. What is the squared error for cluster having sample 1, 2? Squared error. What is the formula? So you need some mu value there, right? When you are trying to have 2 sample like 1, 2, what is the mean value of x there and what is the mean value of y? You can see the cluster has these 2 samples, 1 and 2. So x is here, y is here. What is mu x? 8 plus 4 by 2, right? Mu x, a mean of x in this cluster, you can consider it as 8 plus 4 by 2. So mean value of y in this problem, 4 plus 4 by 2, correct? I'll just consider these 2 variable as 4 plus 4 by 2. That gives us mean of that feature. Only adding these 2, you can find mean for that feature. Is it clear? You find mean value for each feature within the cluster. Then with the mean, you express what is the error. So once I get mean for x as 6, y as 4, now I can just calculate error for this, squared error for the cluster having sample 1, 2, 4 minus 6 whole square, because this is the first feature. With respect to each feature, how much far it is from its mean, right? Its mean is 6. 4 minus 6 whole square, 8 minus 6 whole square. Next comes y. It is away from mean with 0 distance. That means 4 minus 4 0, 4 minus 4 whole square, 4 minus 4 whole square here once again. So that does not contribute any error, right? But whatever it is, you find that the total error is 8. Then you calculate. Squared error from cluster having sample 1, 2 is 8. But there are 3 more clusters here. The error from cluster, this is 8. Error. Error from this how much? Error from this how much? Error from this how much? You have to calculate. Since each other cluster having a single sample, you can see other clusters are having only single sample. So when you are having a single sample in a cluster, what happens? Its mean is itself. Its centroid is itself. It's overlapping with the sample. In that case, error is 0. Okay, error is 0. That's what you can see. Even they have shown here. You can see the error of that. If you calculate, it could be 0. So error you find for each cluster, right? Then you add them. That gives total squared error, right? That's total squared error is here 8. Even though other zeros are there, I have to tell the procedure. That's why I just mentioned it. Otherwise, in the later iteration, you will make mistake. Cluster having single sample, also you have to show that so that you will not make any mistake in the later iterations. If the procedure is clear, you're finding total squared error here as 8. This is squared error. Now I am talking total squared error here for all these clusters. Indicated literally here with the set. Cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4. Possible getting 4 clusters. Total squared error is 8. Any doubt in calculation here? What shown in the first row. This is nothing squared error or total squared error you can call. Now this you have to do it for all the possible combination and you have to choose the best one. Luckily the first combination it is the best one, which is minimum, but always it not required to be same like this. The minimum from squared error table, no? Like here column, you may have to choose here which is minimum you have to check. Minimum is this, so that will be taken as the actual possible combination for getting 4 clusters. But once you calculate all these possibilities, then only you can find out the minimum. This is minimum in the table, right? Least squared error value. Okay, I will give you one more. Can you just check this and tell me if you have not understood? Just cross check, are you getting 48.5? I'll just display here the table. Just check yourself and tell me if any confusions you can ask. Find the mean and do it.
Sir, you're talking about merging 3 and 4, right?
Yeah, correct. 3 and 5. 3 and 5. 3 and 4 also 48.5.
Okay, sir.
First you calculate the mean values for x. 24 plus 15 by 2, that gives mu x. 12 plus 8 by 2 will give mu y. Then for each variable, you just find the distance and find the squared error. Some 19 point will come, right? Mu x.
Yes, sir, 19.5.
Yeah. Mu y is 10. So what is E? Is it 48.5? 19 point something minus 15 whole square. 24 minus 19 point something whole square. 10 minus 8 whole square. 12 minus 10 whole square. So what is that total value? It must be nearly this one, 48.5. If anyone has any confusion, you can ask. Are you getting 48.5? Anyone try it? Error is nothing but
Yes, sir, I got 48.5.
something whole square plus 24 minus 19 point something whole square plus 8 minus 10 whole square plus 12 minus 10 whole square. So 48.5 you are getting, right? Fine. So now similarly you have to calculate other possible combination for which what is the error, total square error. So you need to calculate each. Once you calculate, the procedure is to find the minimum or least value here. So among them, this is the list. So this combination could be chosen as the possible combination for getting 4 clusters. Then you have to go with iteratively to get 3 clusters. What are the possible 3 combinations you can do it? All this you tabulated. Here, in order to from 4 to 3, if you want to go, maybe you can combine this bigger cluster with 3 or 5 or 4 or 4, 5 can be combined so that the rest will be 2 more clusters, so 3 cluster totally. So these are the possible combinations you can have to get 3 clusters. Possibility of least square error will decide that decides the actual cluster combination you want. But you just try to, because initially you don't know for which combination, so you may have to write all the combination, possible combination. So 4 to 3 you will have around 6 combination here. What is square error? Now let us consider this problem here. Or even you can take first one. First one you take first, yeah. Just to verify, are you getting this 72.7? 1, 2, 3 you have to take and then you have to go ahead. Now mean is calculated using all these 3. Mean of x is using this. 4 plus 8 plus 15 by 3. Correct? So mean of x, mu x here, 4 plus 8 plus 15 by 3, which is how much? 12 plus, how much it is? Mu x. So the mu y is?
Mu x is 9, sir.
9. Okay, thank you. Mu y is 4 plus 4 plus 8 by 3 is nothing but okay. Once you calculate this, then you can do the rest calculation like error calculation. How xij is differing from mu x, right? Or how each x or y is differing from mu value. That gives you the error here. Are you getting 72.7? Please verify. If anyone has a doubt or any questions, you can ask in between. Here the similarity measure is taken as squared error, total squared error. Are you getting it? So if you see one more case here the two clusters are not maybe, see this is having two samples, this is also having two samples. Now you will get some error for this, some error for this, and error for this may be 0. So altogether it is 56.5. Okay, but when you compare here, this is the least. So in this case, second iteration, the possible combination of merging could be taken like this. The same sample 4 and 5 merging is may be chosen here based on squared error. The possible 3 clusters are considered so that 4 and 5 are merged in the next iteration. 3 clusters which are visualized like this. So if you want to get 2 clusters, to get another hierarchy of clusters, you can repeat the procedure once again. Okay. So that is how we need to proceed here. I think that if required, you can do it. It takes slightly more time. It's a different method. So here, sometime we may not ask you to develop all the tree. We may ask only 1 or 2 iterations at the max, depending on the problem. Okay. Any questions in this case? What's
No,
method?
sir.
No question. Okay. I was just saying now, especially in a different cluster problem, all these algorithms of grouping where this is the inter-cluster distance, what we are talking, and this is the intra-cluster distance we are talking. But the dimension may be sometime xy may be there, or 2 feature problem may be there, or sometimes the feature problems or problems where the pattern may be given with 3 features. I think only it comes a small difference when you are going to calculate the sample distance. Okay, or whenever you are calculating the error, even there comes also difference. I'll just try to give you one example if possible later. Yeah, here is there. It is in the exercise. Okay. Or let us just calculate in the given problem only, extending one sample. There is a problem we worked out morning. Suppose if in this problem there is another feature considered. Along with that, say, if you consider another feature. It is nothing but a problem where x, y, or 3 features are taken, right? Etc. Any features, x1, x2, x3 may be the representation sometime, whatever it is. Here also it could be taken like 1, 7, say something like, I will even take something randomly took some value. So it is a kind of problem where you are given 3 features. Our feature vector is nothing but this is understanding you should have here. And suppose you want to calculate here based on city block distance, a sample distance between, say this is A and this is D, A to D, sample distance. Can you tell me now? Using city block distance. CB indicates that city block, or it is the absolute difference. How to calculate this? Any one of you calculate and tell me. The procedure is similar, only thing is I just extended one more feature here.
It's 7.
How much it is? 7, huh? You said 7?
Yes, sir.
So what you did maybe like this, you did absolute difference of 1 and 0, right? Then you added that with the absolute difference between 7 and 1. So that is here 7 and 1. Then you added that with the third feature like 7 minus 7, right? That is turned into 1 plus 6 plus 0. Okay. So even though the multiple feature comes like this, you are able to do mathematically. But yeah, if there are 5 features representing on a feature space, may be difficult for you. Okay. It's difficult to represent on a space, indicating diagram like 2 feature space. Like here easily you can show it, right? A point. But if I talk a feature space of 5, it is difficult to draw, right? But mathematically you can able to handle easily. The rest of the problem will follows like what we did earlier. Okay. Only difference is here. Sometimes we may give 3 features. I generally don't give more than 3 here. It takes time, right? Simply calculation time will increase. If it is given, you should be aware of how to do it here. Otherwise, it is similar. Problem is similar. Any clarification? So that is what I was just saying, that it could be 3 feature based inter-cluster distance between 2 clusters. And once you calculate any sample distances like this, what we did just now with the city block or even Euclidean also you can calculate. Then even you can calculate what is cluster distance, right? Sample distance as well as cluster distance. Sample distance is small d. Maybe city block all this. Cluster distance could be called as DAL or D. Single linkage. This is the cluster distance. Don't make any confusions. If anybody has any confusions, you can ask. This is what generally happens when there are multiple points. No, there are grouping will be done. Okay. So normally there will be some hundreds of points. It may not be a problem of kind 5 samples in generally. Okay. Okay, let us go with one more set of algorithms. I just introduced that, then we'll discuss in the next class. So there is another group of algorithm. They are said to be top-down approach. They are to be having top-down approach, top-down algorithms, are referred as partition clustering approaches. So why you call this? We were discussing earlier one basic example even. When you are given all the sample in a sample space or feature space here, in top-down approach, you consider whole space as a single space initially, and you start. The algorithm starting approach is different in top-down. You consider there is a space, and what you are going to do is you are going to divide the space in the iterative approach or some kind of step with which you are going to partition it, or you're going to divide it. Maybe it is 2 number or 3 number. In advance you can decide and you can try to divide it. That's why it is called partition clustering approach. If you want the k groups, you can just divide it by k number of partitions you are making. The whole space you are dividing into different clusters. But even you can repeat this procedure. Suppose you have already made 2 groups, say for example. Further, if you want to divide within this cluster, yes, you can even divide it. Further, suppose this cluster you want to divide it, yes, you can divide it. But how many times you can go on divide? You can go on divide it so that finally it ends with a single sample in each cluster. For example, this cluster you can divide, and even this cluster you can divide. This also may be seen divided in some other case. If you see this at the end, you find like the one cluster what you have divided and subdivided, so on in hierarchy, and finally ending that each small cluster will have single sample. So you are coming out from multiple sample in a single cluster, and later you will going to have sampling of this, and finally you will be leading into multiple clusters. So that is a kind of procedure or algorithm. They call it as partition approach or top-down approach. So you are trying to make it smaller and smaller, and you will be finally reaching a smallest cluster that you cannot divide further. Cluster having single sample, you will not be able to divide it. Okay, that will be the end of your algorithm. Iteration, sorry, end of your iterations will be decided based on single sample in a cluster. End condition for stopping your iteration may be that. It depends on what you want to do in a grouping, that decides where you want to stop in your hierarchy. So this partition algorithms also will help you to grow a tree. That is what I was telling in the beginning. You can develop a tree here. You can decide at what level you want to have 2 groups. So one of the group you partition it and make it 2, maybe 2 subgroups, having some sample. And later this subgroup even can be divided. You can have that area here. You can have this area here, right? So on. At the end, you will have a small having single sample. A cluster having single sample. This is the concept we call a hierarchical approach. Once again, it's also hierarchical approach, not agglomerative. Don't make any confusion. They are different. In case of hierarchical method, we can develop a tree, right? So one is top down, but earlier groups what we discussed are bottom up. Now we are starting with top down approaches or partition clustering approach. So what we are trying to do is with certain algorithm, we will be going to divide this whole space into certain region. Maybe 2 or 3 or 5 in the first iteration only, you can do it sometime in some algorithm. Okay. And further, those cluster could be divided into small if necessary. That means this partition approach will reach, maybe it is faster comparatively, faster clustering algorithm compared to other one. With less time, it may give you the clusters compared to with less iterations. That is the benefit of partition clustering, okay, comparatively. So if you want to quickly read the cluster, yes, this could be an alternate approach. Anyway, there are some algorithms suggested here, which we'll discuss. But in generally, in all this group of algorithms, when you divide into some cluster, if you are aware of what is the problem details, then even you can label it based on certain parameter. You may have to find or discover the class. So you group them. The first task is to group all the samples. The second task is to suitably label them. Okay, let us discuss the exact algorithm such as k-means or other algorithm in the next class. This clustering algorithm is also very powerful when you go to various areas of even image processing also, where actually segmentation when you are talking, right? Instead of sample, you can consider every pixel of a image could be as a particular, say we have shown a dot here, right? All these dot, if you consider as a pixel, in an image, you know, all the pixels are very close in matrix form, right? So when you consider all these pixel and distribution of this in gray or color, even based on those images, even you can plan for segmenting, right? Segmenting certain region of interest based on these kind of clustering approaches. Applying these algorithms, even you can find some region of interest. So it's not only that you can classify, sometimes even you can try to look for some